Hi everyone, my name is Buniji A. Herbelia. Today I'm presenting you the literary arts that given by Serge Israel Morin. Discuss the literary arts. Literary arts comes from two words, namely arts and literature. Art means the expressions of human feelings that have beauty value, while literature is an absorption word that comes from discussion Sanskrit, which means guidance or order in the form of text or voice. Is sometimes in the form of writing or stories that have artistic and cultural value that display the beauty of speech and language convey certain meaning. Next is literature. Is the language used in books and is not an everybody language. Furthermore, literature can be also interpreted as written works when compared with other writings have various characteristics or excellence such as authenticity, artistry, and also beauty and content or expression. The function of literary arts. First is conveying moral message. In literary work tacked a moral message in some parts such as the beginning, middle, or end of the work. There are moral messages that are delivered directly and some are clandestinely. Number 2. Conveying criticism. There are also literary works that are intentionally made to convey criticism related to social, economic, political criticism, and so forth. This has the aim. So there are also literary works that are intentionally made to convey criticism related to social, economic, political criticism, and so forth. This has the aim so that continuous use of literature have an awareness of those criticisms and follow up. Third, making a sense of national revive. Number 3, making a sense of national revive. Literatures build a sense of nationalism through suggestions that are aroused from the audience, and that suggestion is reinforced by instilling the values and the spirit of nationalism and also nationalism. Number 4, education facility. Indirectly, someone who enjoys literature also learns the value, norms, and teaching of novels, mind, and character. The characteristic of literary arts. First is literary arts in the form of language. Second, 2, literary arts in the form of expressions of feelings. 3, the literary arts contained in the ideas or values. Now, literary arts in the forms of language. As a literary purpose in the form of expressions, words, stories, and language style. Literary arts in the form of expressions of feelings has a literary meaning in the forms of books, writings, and essays. Literary arts contained in ideas or values have literary purpose in the form of teachings, guidance, or orders or educations. Elements of literary arts. First is extrinsic elements of literary arts. Second, extrinsic elements of literary arts. Extrinsic elements of literary arts. Extrinsic elements of elements that are influence of the literary arts that exist within the literary arts themselves. Intrinsic elements of literary arts include theme is the main issue in the story. Mandate is the message to be conveyed by the author to the reader. Characters, and there are two types of characters. Main character is the main figure of the story. Then the second one is helper, is a character who is the main character's companion when viewed from the good or bad characters. Characters are divided into protagonist and antagonist. Next is conflict. It's a problem experienced by the character and the story. Conflict are divided in two types. Namely internal conflict and external conflict. Settings is a description of place, time, and atmosphere. Floor or flow is the storyline in the work from the beginning to end. Symbols is the use of literary works as a representative of an abstract things. And the last, perspective, is the appointment of the character's character by the writer in the story. The perspective is divided into first person or me, second person or you, and third person or them or her. Now, what is extrinsic elements of the literary arts? Extrinsic elements of literary arts are elements that make up a literary works from the outside. Generally, these elements take the form of the backgrounds of the author's life, belief, and point of view of the author, customs, political situations, history, and also the economic contained in the literary work. And lastly, the types of literary arts include: first is prose. As a literary works in the forms of descriptions, which is delivered in a language that is free and is not bound by rhythm, dictions, rhyme, and the soundness or rule of speech, and also other literary guidelines. This type of writing is often used in prose, or type of writings that is described based on facts or ideas. The second one is a literary works whose descriptions use directions or word choice. In general, poetry does not directly. Poetry can cause a tendency of someone who sharpens awareness with language that has a rhythm and a special meaning. So that's all, and thank you. Have a blessed morning. Bye everyone.